Hello, welcome to the November 2014 Healing Arts Practitioner interview. We're sitting down in the, as you can tell, Halloween-themed Buddha Bar with Virginia Raich, who is an Ayurvedic practitioner here at Kula's Healing Arts Center. So, hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for taking the time to do this. And my hope is just to give people a better sense of what it is you're doing here at Kula and how it may benefit them and really be a complement to their yoga practice. And then also just a little bit of background about what Ayurveda is in general for people who aren't aware. So,
Okay.
maybe we could start with what is Ayurveda.
Okay. Well, it is the medical practice in India, and so it's been around for thousands of years, and it's very kind of similar to like traditional Chinese medicine. It kind of takes that same route. Basically, the way you work with a person is you figure out what dosha a person falls into, and a dosha is basically a constitution, and we're all made up of all three. But primarily, you'll have one or two that are predominant.
Okay.
And so the way you work with a person is, you're always trying to keep them in balance by introducing foods that can help balance out the dosha, or lifestyle, like rituals that you would do during the day. Yoga's great. I mean, that's a huge part of Ayurveda.
And figuring out what type of yoga I'd imagine
Yes.
would be appropriate. Could you go a little bit into what each of the doshas are? Just like a brief 101 of them?
Okay, so there's Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And Vata is more air, ether, mobile. We're in the Vata season now, where it cools down, gets a little windy. Pitta is fiery, very motivated, very driven, that kind of thing. So summer is obviously Pitta. Kapha is the earth and water mix, so it's a little more sluggish, very motherly, loving. They just tend to be like a little bit slower and more patient and that type of thing.
So you said Vata is mobile, but Pitta is also this active. Could you describe the different quality? Yeah.
Okay.
102. No, I've gone beyond 101.
Okay, so Vata, let's see, it's definitely more in the ethers, where Pitta is more grounded. So Pitta people are very driven, very straightforward, where Vata, if you have an imbalance of Vata, it can turn into like fear or anxiety, where if you were having an imbalance in Pitta, it'd be more like rage or something along those lines.
And Vata maybe like a little more like floaty?
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's a very good word for that, yes.
Okay. Cool. And so when you're working with people, then I imagine first you're figuring out which dosha is predominant, so they do some sort of
yes.
Like
Well, I'll ask a lot of questions, and through the questions we kind of get down to their constitution, but then also we'll find out where they are now, because you kind of move through all these doshas just all the time. So we find out the constitution, and then from that we find out where they are now and where we need to bring more things into the balance. And one thing about the doshas is like aggravates like. So let's say you're very Vata, and this is the time for Vata because it's dry and a little windy, and it's just we're moving out of Pitta, which is hot. So naturally, and in Florida it's a little different because in the Northeast it's really Vata time. So here we focus on like eating more stews and root vegetables and all those types of foods to kind of bring down your Vata, so you're a little bit more balanced.
I see. So I'm thinking about this question. In yoga practice, you take somebody that's super Pitta and you put them into powerful vinyasa practice, and it's kind of like exacerbating it a little bit, like
Yes.
you're heating up the pitta even more.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also seen like putting somebody that is like super pitta into a yin practice, and the rage comes out. So one of the things we have at Kula are like these yin yang fusion practices where it's like get your yang out and then you're more willing to do the yin.
Sure.
So I wonder how that plays out in the context of Ayurveda, where when do you go with the nature and when do you cultivate the opposite?
Well, whenever you're just trying to balance. So if you're having, like, you find yourself going go, 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 and never really stopping to smell the roses, you know, that's whenever you want to bring balance back. And then, it plays out also just in how you're feeling day to day, what your diet's like, and so you want to always be bringing those types of things in that'll bring your pitta, let's say, down. So that you're a little bit more balanced and you don't tend to fly into the rage as easily, or knowing
Gotcha.
exercises to do or rituals to do to bring that pitta down, and make you more balanced. Because that's the goal, is to really come to some sort of a balance.
Right.
You
I love it, and then so it seems really connected. There's a physical component. There's this, the nutritional aspect, the movement aspect. There's a psychological and energetic aspect of it. It's
Yes.
very all-encompassing. I want to take the last few minutes to switch gears a little bit, if that's okay, and just give people a better sense of you, Virginia. So maybe a little bit about how you came to this point in your life and making this a practice and career.
Okay. Well, I've always been really interested in nutrition because I noticed at an early age how much that affects your health. And so I was really drawn to nutrition, so I went and studied a lot of nutrition. And at that school that I studied nutrition, I had a lot of Chinese medicine, which I think is amazing. It was a little bit too complicated. I didn't really want to go there. So I eventually was introduced to an Ayurvedic practitioner that I took my son to, and I was just blown away by the results, and it really resonated with me. So that's really how I pursued that path. And it's simple. It's something I can explain to people, and it's really something that they can go home and implement right away, and get results if they're good at performing the rituals and eating their food, and it's nothing too over the top. It's all very practical and simple. So.
And is this something like the results are seen rather quickly, or is it just more of a change? It's more changing your lifestyle, or is it an element of both?
Both, like with everything, it is a lifestyle change if you really want to get good results. But you can see results pretty rapidly, if you are committed. So.
It's amazing just even noticing, like, wow, I ate this for lunch and I'm tired. Or just making the connection between what we're putting into our bodies in terms of our food, but also our thoughts and who we surround ourselves with in their doshas and how that affects us as well.
Yeah.
And anything, we just have a minute left, anything else that you'd want to share for people just to let them know about how they can work with you here?
Well, you can find me on the website, and I am happy to, if you want to call me, we can do a little quick consult on the phone, and then they can just come in, and my sessions run about an hour, and the first session I'll do like a basic kind of thing to get to know your dosha, stuff like that, and then you will leave with like a few little practices to try.
Okay.
And then we just go from there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for being here. I think it's a really cool addition, something that we've been like searching for somebody to come in and do this for so long. So
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Namaste.